Good morning. Welcome or welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Tuesday, October the 29th, and we're here to look at the new releases that have been published this week. And we look at them every day of the work week, Monday through Friday. Each genre a different day, or a different day, a different genre. On Tuesdays, we look at mysteries and thrillers. Quick announcements. I do have sprints tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. They go for 2.5 hours. I do those reading sprints live 3 times a week. I do them every Tuesday and Thursday evenings and Saturday afternoon at 3 p.m. Good morning, Kim. How are you doing? I bet you're just enjoying being in your own bed at home. All right, so we are looking at mysteries and thrillers. Oops. Well, I had the wrong thing up. All right. There we go. So the grittier side of crime fiction. Yesterday was cozy mysteries, and we might have time to look at some more of those cozy mysteries. There's always a lot every week. Leave the Girls Behind by Jacqueline Bublitz. Ruth Ann Baker is a college dropout, a bartender, and an amateur detective who just can't stay away from true crime. 19 years ago, her childhood friend was murdered by suspected serial killer Ethan Oswald. Still tormented by the case, Ruth can't help but think of the long dead Oswald when another young girl goes missing from the same town. And when she uncovers startling new evidence that suggests Oswald did not act alone, she is determined to find his deadly partner in crime. Embarking on a global investigation, Ruth becomes close to three very different women, one of whom might just hold the key to what happened to the missing girl and her childhood friend all those years ago. Oh, good deal. Hang in there. Couple more days. The Blue Hour by Paula Hawkins, which is the author of the huge Girl on Train. Welcome to Eris, an island with only one house, one inhabitant, one one way out, unreachable from the Scottish mainland for 12 hours each day. Once home to Vanessa, a famous artist whose notoriously unfaithful husband disappeared 20 years ago. Now home to Grace, a solitary creature of the tides, content in her own isolation. But when a shocking discovery is made in an art gallery far away in London, a visitor comes calling, and the secrets of Eris threaten to emerge. And that's it. Described as atmospheric and marvelously twisty. The Debutantes by Olivia Worley. That will be 6 weeks from surgery. Wow. I'm sure you're feeling every day of it, but it seems like it's gone by fast. I know. Good morning, Mary. Happy Tuesday. Hope you're feeling better, both of you. Thank you. Cold is progressing, lingering. It's never really progressed into anything super serious. It's just been annoyingly stuffy. For the New Orleans elite, the Les Masques Ball is sure to be the social event of the season if they can avoid another dead queen. When debutante Margot Landry was found dead the morning after her reign at last year's ball, it was a tragedy, but not a shocking one. Margot was a wild child with a self-destructive streak, nothing like this year's queen, Lily LeBlanc. With a perfectly poised debutante on the throne, everything is going according to plan, until the ball is hijacked by a mysterious figure in a jester costume. That night, Lily sends a text to three of the maids on her royal court: her best friend Vivian, her boyfriend's sister Piper, and April, her former frenemy, asking them all to meet the next morning, but Lily never shows up. On the surface, these three debutantes don't have anything in common except their exclusive private school and their ties to Les Masques. But soon they realize why Lily brought them together. Something dark is lurking beneath the glamorous surface of the debutante world, and it might be the reason she disappeared. And the further the girls dig, the more they begin to suspect that Margot's death may not have been an accident, and that Lily may be next. When the Jesters starts threatening to expose their own secrets, this unlikely trio must team up to uncover the monsters behind the Mardi Gras masks before they're left with another dead debutante. Indeed. Kim says thanks. Oh no, Mary. Utmost and I'm coughing, tired but bound and determined to beat this thing. The crud is there. Ah, it's all those germs. Louise Penny has a new one. The Grey Wolf, 19th in her series. Relentless phone calls interrupt the peace of a warm August morning in Three Pines. Though the tiny Quebec village is impossible to find on any map, someone has managed to track down Armand Gamache, head of homicide at the Sûreté, as he sits with his wife in their back garden. Marie watches with increasing unease as her husband refuses to pick up, though he clearly knows who is on the other end. When he finally answers, his rage shatters the calm of their quiet Sunday morning. Armand Gamache, Jean-Guy Beauvoir, his son-in-law and second-in-command in Inspector Isabelle Lacoste, can only trust each other as old friends begin to act like enemies, and longtime enemies appear to be friends. Determined to track down the threat before it becomes a reality, their pursuit takes them across Quebec and across borders. Their hunt grows increasingly desperate, even frantic, as the enormity of the creature they're chasing becomes clear. If they fail, the devastating consequences consequences would reach into the largest of cities and smallest of villages. End of row one. This Girl's a Killer by Emma C. Wells. It seems like there's some goodies in our future reading options. Yeah. Ask Cordelia Black why she did it. The answer will always be, he had it coming. Cue the song from Chicago. Cordelia Black loves exactly three things: her chosen family, her hairdresser worth every penny plus tip, and killing bad men. By day, she's an ambitious farmer rep with a flawless reputation and designer wardrobe. By night, she culls South Louisiana of unscrupulous men, monsters who think they've evaded justice until they meet her. Sure, the evening news may have started throwing around phrases like serial killer, but Cordelia knows that's absurd. She's not a killer, she is simply karma, and being karma requires complete and utter control. But when Cordelia discovers a flaw in her perfectly designed system for eliminating monsters, pressure heightens. And it only intensifies when her best friend starts dating a man Cordelia isn't sure is a good person. That's not up to you, honey bunny. Someone who might just unravel everything she has worked for. Soon enough, Cordelia has to come face to face with the choices she's made. The good, the bad, and the murderous. Both her family and her freedom depend on it. Sorry, you're not the good person here. You became like them. J.T. Ellison has a new one. A very bad thing. I had gotten this last month in the Kindle Unlimited free book, Amazon Prime free Kindle thingy. And Paula Hawkins as well. Indeed, we've got some names. Hi, Emily. As soon as you said he had it coming. Ah! That's a good song to have stuck in your brain, though. I wouldn't mind. A great writer knows when to deliver a juicy plot twist, but for one author, the biggest twist of all is her own murder. With a number of hit titles and a highly anticipated movie tie-in, celebrated novelist Columbia Jones is at the top of her game. Fans around the world adore her. But on the final night of her latest book tour, one face in the crowd makes the author collapse, and by the next morning, she's lying dead in a pool of blood. Columbia's death shocks the world and leaves Darian, her daughter and publicist, reeling. The police have nothing to go on. at first, but then details emerge pointing to the author's illicit past. Turns out many people had motive to kill Columbia, and with a hungry reporter and frustrated cop on the trail, her secrets won't stay buried long. But how many lives will they shatter as the truth comes out? A very bad thing, indeed. Death Stake by Andrew Main. And Mary says, good morning to Emily. A trail of missing coders leads a spy into an international underworld of treachery, double agents, and digital espionage. I'm going to have to put this under spy versus spy list. And it's second in the Trasker series. Retired intelligence operative Brad Trasker heads security at a remote aerospace facility when there's a major breach. A photo of their top secret AI designed hydrogen engine has surfaced online. Trasker's investigation into who did it soon leads to a startup in Bangkok where its 3 software developers have disappeared, along with nearly $1 million in investment money. Following their tracks, Trasker hits a dead end. The startup's HQ is a padlocked crime scene. No one, not the cagey locals, the mobbed-up gangs, or the Royal Thai police, is keen on answering Trasker's questions, but their message is clear: get out of Bangkok or die. Hunted by assassins, Trasker is drawn into the same complex, high-tech underworld of cryptocurrency, digital espionage, and betrayal that swallowed up the runaway coders. As the line between ally and enemy blurs and the stakes become life and death, Trasker must navigate the dangerous intersection of modern intelligence and old-school spy games to survive. Yep, I'll have to remember to put that under spy versus spy, or at least the first one. The Pirate's Secret by Lindy Walker and Bruce Robert Coffin, third in the Turner and Mosley files. Carter Mosley is thrust into an unexpected adventure when his childhood friend and former dive partner Jeff Shelton leaves him a cryptic message. Carter is hesitant given his friend's shadowy past, but loyalty draws him in. Joined by Avery Turner, he heads to England to follow the trail. The quest turns deadly when Jeff is murdered, and a link to Captain Ace Mullins, a legendary pirate whose tale conceals a priceless treasure, is unveiled. From England's ancient reefs to Paris's underground catacombs, their search escalates into a high-stakes race across Europe. As Carter and Avery confront mercenaries and decode the past, the treasure they seek becomes more than just riches. It's a puzzle steeped in history where each clue could be their last. End of row 2. The Queen by Nick Cutter. This might be verging on horror, but we'll see. On a sunny morning in June, Margaret Carpenter wakes up to find a new iPhone on her doorstep. She switches it on to find a text from her best friend, Charity Atwater. The problem is, Charity's been dead for over a month. Most people in town, even the police think she's dead. Margaret and Charity have been lifelong friends. They share everything, know the most intimate details about one another, except for the destructive secret hidden from them both, a secret that will trigger a chain of events ending in tragedy, bloodshed, and death. And now Charity wants Margaret to know her story, the real story. In a narrative that takes place over one feverish day, Margaret follows a series of increasingly disquieting breadcrumbs as she forges deeper into the mystery of her best friend, a person she never truly knew at all. End of our grittier side. And Emily says, good morning to everybody. So let's go back to Cozies. We ended on Sleuth on the Rocks. Witching of Daisies. Book number 9 in the Witches of the Pacific Northwest series by Elena Blackwood. Ariel's Aunt Luna is hosting a family party, and while Ariel expects the usual chaos, things take a wild turn when a loud, blood-curdling scream shatters the fun. Next door, Judith Peabody has been found dead in her backyard, strangled by her own watering hose. Judith was the classic nosy neighbor, and her constant meddling earned her plenty of enemies. One of those enemies? Aunt Luna. Though everyone knows Luna is innocent, Ariel is determined to find the real killer and clear her aunt's name. Ariel teams up with her friend Asher and her cousin Raven to investigate, while her snarky black familiar Dory is more of a distraction than a help. Even though her sheriff boyfriend Henry insists she stay out of it, Ariel feels too powerless to just sit back and do nothing. There's always a sheriff or cop boyfriend. Scallops and Sorcerers, Vampire Knitting Club second in that series by Nancy Warren. Jennifer Cunningham is determined to make a success of the scallop shell, the knitting shop she's managing in Trigriby, a pretty fishing village in Cornwall. As a way to increase sales, she decides to hold a knitting and crochet retreat at Shadowbrook Manor, the former bed and breakfast inn where she lives. She and her best friend and fellow witch Lucy Swift Crosier will co-host the retreat. However, Jennifer shares the property with a group of vampires who live below ground in an old tin mine, and they are less than pleased at the idea of daywalkers coming to Shadowbrook Manor and wandering around at all hours. They try to talk her out of the retreat, but with the help of the gorgeous former pirate Griffin Penrose, she convinces the pirates the week-long retreat will be trouble-free. She could not have been more wrong. When one of the retreat guests is murdered, Jennifer becomes uncomfortably aware that she's likely sharing her home with a killer. Can she figure out who done it before her first knitting retreat becomes her last? The Happy Housekeeper's Guide to Trouble, 8th in the Barbara Hollis murder mysteries. Still slogging through the new J.D. Robb book, still not into the futuristic slang, but the basic plot seems good. I just get sidetracked with the slang. She's worth it. It's a good series. But that's why there's so many books out there. If it's not your cuppa, it's okay. A dark secret from her past has come back to haunt Barbara Hollis. When Deputy Elwood finds out the truth about her, Barbara flees Cobbsville, returning to the city where all her troubles began. Going undercover, she tries to catch the one person who can prove her innocence and restore her reputation, but tracking down answers won't be easy when pursuing a dangerous villain who will stop at nothing. Mocha, Macaroons, and Death by Constance Barker. Book 4 in the Knack Boutique mystery series. When Jenna Branson, owner of the Yarn Hub, begins receiving anonymous threats, Lindy Walsh can't resist stepping in to help. But when someone working on Jenna's shop expansion is found murdered at the construction site, what begins as a simple investigation quickly spirals into something much more sinister. As Lindy and Sheriff Cody Remington dig deeper, they uncover a tangled web of deceit and dangerous secrets lurking beneath the surface of their quaint town, with suspects ranging from Jenna's ex-husband to a rival shop owner, and even a real estate developer with dubious connections. Lindy and Cody must navigate a maze of lies and hidden motives. As their investigation heats up, so does the tension between them, testing the limits of their partnership and their growing romantic feelings for each other. Impractical Magic, 9th in the Myrtlewood Mysteries by Iris Beaglehole. That is an unfortunate last name. Good afternoon, Helen. How are you doing? How is it over there? Rosemary Thorne's life takes another surreal turn as she prepares to host the most unlikely event of the season, while her daughter Athena juggles exam stress and organizing the town's Imbolc ritual. Darkness is stirring in the nearby forest, and a hunger-driven force threatens to consume everything in its path. With vampire politics, Fey realm adventures, and cantankerous deities in the mix, Rosemary and Athena must confront both external dangers and their own inner demons. Can they overcome their personal struggles and band together with friends old and new to protect Myrtlewood once again? Interesting things about these cozies, and mostly like Kindle Unlimited, they crank these out every couple months. And if you like it, that's great. You can say, yay, a new book. This is a series that has caught my attention, but I've not read it yet. This is The Coffee House Murders by Ellis Blackwood, third in the Samuel Pepys mysteries. In London, 1666, drinking coffee can get you killed. The case of Samuel Pepys' missing pocket watch escalates rapidly when Eustace Blount, poet, satirist, and wit, is found murdered in Rose's coffee house on the Strand. Blount was a prig, a poser, and a parliamentarian. Nobody liked him, not even his friends, and Pepys' intrepid personal inquisitors, Abby Harcourt and Jacob Standish, find themselves with a suspect list as unwieldy as it is perplexing. When their investigation leads to the nearby Gilded Bean coffee house frequented by fervently royalist members of parliament, it becomes clear that a dangerous political game is afoot. Abby and Jacob face their most audacious challenge yet: to break into Westminster Palace at the very heart of English politics. The penalty, if discovered, is death. Gotta get to those. They're right up my alley. Mary says, "It's Helen, so nice to see you here." It is 12. Our clocks went back. Oh, did it? Okay. Ours are this weekend. Yep, this weekend. Nice to get an extra hour sleep. It takes a while to get used to the new time, and the nights seem long. I'm okay with long nights. It's the pets that have a hard time with the transition. Oh, she hates it. I like it. I know. I'm a November baby, and I like it when it's dark and cozy and you can nest. Ah, out of time. All right. Everybody remember where we parked. It's faded familiar. Thanks. Hope to see you later at Thunder Horse Descent. Go. Same to you. I hope to see you too. I'm hoping today at work is better than yesterday and so forth. I hope you guys have a very good Tuesday. Yes, I do have sprints tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. They go for 2.5 hours. Bring your own book, work on a project, or just close your eyes after a day, whatever it is that is self-care for you. I just carve out the time and space for you. Tomorrow we'll be looking at romance. We'll see if it's more Christmas rom-com. I have not looked yet. Makes it really hard coming home from church on Wednesday night. Ah, very true. I am not a night driver. I have very bad night vision myself. But I just like it when you're home and it's dark and you can go to bed and it's dark. All right. Thank you guys so much. I will be reposting this later if you weren't able to pop in at the beginning, or if you want to make a note of what is going on there. Hope you have a good day. And as the banner says here, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom nom nom. Have a good day. God bless.